Welcome to Sharing the Light, the Sunshine Cathedral's talk show webcast where we discuss theological, ethical, spiritual, and social issues with the cathedral's pastoral staff. Sunshine Cathedral is a metropolitan community church affiliated with the Center for Progressive Christianity. We're located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, we hope you will enjoy this episode of Sharing the Light.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Sharing the Light. This is Sunshine Cathedral's webcast ministry where we talk about important topics, social topics. We talk about ethics and theology and spirituality. We have with us today our Minister of Social Justice and Media Ministries, the Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin. We have a special guest with us today, the Reverend Dr. Mona West. Mona is the Cathedral's consultant for spiritual practices. She's also the director of Metropolitan Community Church's Office of Formation and Leadership Development. And of course I am Darrell Watkins, the senior pastor here at Sunshine Cathedral. There's been a lot of news lately, and of course there's not anything new about this, but this sort of awareness of teen suicides, of bullying, and people who are bullied because they are different, because maybe boys who are viewed to be effeminate, or who are thought to be gay, or who have come out as gay, and they are bullied and tormented, and so from as young as 13 and to 19. So Mona, why don't you jump in with the first thoughts about what's all this about? You know, why do people bully? Well, first of all, why do our kids, some kids, think they can only feel good about themselves by sort of making others feel badly, or and where did they get that, and what can we do about it?
Yeah. Well, I think bullying is learned. I mean, it's like people, children aren't born as bullies, and I think that's a learned behavior, and so I think. That doesn't excuse it, but I mean, so I think parents need to be held accountable, for their child's bullying, and my guess is the child who is a bully probably is bullied by his or her parents. Mm-hmm. And I think too, though, that we as a society, we send the message that it's okay to bully, or that behavior is justified, and especially around gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender issues. When we have, legislation like Don't Ask, Don't Tell, when we have
Amendment 2, Prop 8,
all of those
horrible
things.
Initiatives.
And so with all of that on the horizon, it sends not even a subliminal message, that, right. Well, there's something wrong, with these people, and so it's okay to bully them. And I think our religious language, the rhetoric is often violent. I mean, from the religious right, from fundamentalists. I mean, people like Fred Phelps. I mean, from
the Pope.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so.
And the number 2 person in the Mormon hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes high. I mean, people who carry immense authority in their communities, saying, dehumanizing
right.
same-gender loving people.
Yeah. So like it gives those folks then a license to just engage in that behavior.
There's a gubernatorial candidate in the Northeast. The election may have happened by the time this is aired, but a gubernatorial candidate in a northeastern state who just said, you would just be incredulous to hear it. I mean, he was just saying that he didn't want children brainwashed by being exposed to gay and lesbian people. They shouldn't be going to gay pride parades because there are men in Speedos grinding on each other, and it's disgusting, and all of that. And then when he was confronted about that, he said, I'm not at all homophobic, and I think it's terrible that gay and lesbian people are treated badly, and I hire gay and lesbian people on my staff, and if I'm a governor, I'll continue to do that.
Some of my best friends.
Exactly. Yeah. But they shouldn't be able to marry, and our children shouldn't be exposed to them. They're fine as long as they're not around people. I mean, what really? I mean, it's and that kind of that you can't have it both ways. You can't say, it's dangerous for you. And this person, by the way, has a gay nephew, and supposedly gay staff members. I'm wondering what they think about him saying these. But yeah, they shouldn't marry because for people like him, marriage is about gender instead of about love. well, yeah, if as long as we keep them in the attic, gays are great. Well, I guess,
Yeah.
or in the closet,
Yeah.
gays are great, and I think that does send a message to someone struggling with trying to figure out who they are. If this is who I am, it's just not okay. And I think those politicians, and I think from pulpits, I think they have a lot of atoning to do, because it's so easy to be less than compassionate to something you view as less than human. And as one legislator in Florida said, it's a damn shame that we live in a state here in Florida where there's legislation to protect a pregnant pig, but not gay and lesbian youth.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's true. I mean, we view our animals as having more intrinsic value sometimes than, or that's what we appear to say with our sermons and with our politics, and then poor gay kids, they can't go to their pastor, they think, and they can't go to the school principal, and they can't write a letter to the congressman, and sometimes they can't even come home because maybe their parents are voting for that politician or dragging them to that church, and so you can understand why they would feel so overwhelmed and alone and afraid. And we've just somehow got to let them know there's safe places like this for them to be, and also reach these other, say, please don't preach hate. Just stop, and stop preaching it and saying that it's love, because you're insulting everyone's intelligence by that.
I was amazed in the press. One of the young teenage kids was 13 years old, and I cannot imagine what a 13-year-old has to have going through his mind,
Right.
Yeah.
to contemplate that he has been bullied, tormented, whatever, so much that suicide is his only option.
Right.
I mean, I was thinking of a lot of other things at the age of 13, but I don't know what would have driven me to that desperate end to say this is my only hope is to do this act. So I think we have there's a couple of things I want to point out is that I hope that whomever is in these elected positions after this come November, that we hold those folks accountable.
Yes.
Around
Right.
anti-bullying initiatives and whatever laws we need to have in place. We need to hold them accountable, because if they're going to be elected officials to represent our community, they need to represent all of the community, and we need to be able to speak up for those who are not able to vote yet and don't feel like they can be able to speak out, because these teenagers obviously felt that they had no one that they could turn to, elected official, clergy person, maybe even their parents or even their siblings. And so, I agree. We need to come out as safe places.
Yes.
We need to come out as safe people to talk to, and so that we can give our teenagers and young adults and anyone who's contemplating suicide an opportunity to say, there is hope. It does get better. I mean, the whole Trevor Project thing has been about that. It does get better. And so we need to add our voices of saying, as clergy, as Metropolitan Community Church, as Sunshine Cathedral, it does get better. And if you need us, we are here for you.
If you're feeling hopeless, life is bigger than what you seem to be experiencing right now. Yeah. And we all survived that. We survived the closet. We survived bullying. We survived. In fact, we all three grew up in rural, southern, Bible Belt environments. And look at us now. There's community out there. There are people like you. And it's just, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. So please don't give up. Please reach out. And if there's no one in your community, there are other communities. We are now connected by our World Wide Web, by hotlines, and so don't give up. There are metropolitan community churches all over the world. There are Unitarian Universalist churches all over this country. There are Reform and Reconstructionist synagogues that are almost always welcoming and friendly to GLBT people. So find a safe place. The Quakers are usually very friendly. There are Pride centers, GLCC, gay and lesbian centers in almost every urban area. There are gay choruses. There are things. There is this Trevor Project online. There's PFLAG, Parents and Friends for Lesbians and Gays. Oh, that's an amazing organization. You can find them online.
Sunserve Youth Group.
Sunserve Youth Group right here at the Sunshine Cathedral. And so find one of these safe places. There are people like you. There are people who love you for who you are. There are people who affirm you. And maybe you're not aware of that yet, but it's true. And you can find them online. They may actually already be in your community. And once you're 18, if they're not in your community, you are free to either start them or to go to where they are. So don't give up too soon. And if you're ever in the Fort Lauderdale area, 1480 Southwest 9th Avenue, Sunshine Cathedral, we'd love to have you here.
Thank you for joining us for another great episode of Sharing the Light. Tell your friends about this online ministry, and when you're in Southeast Florida, Make sure you worship with us on a Sunday at the 9 a.m., the 10:30 a.m., or the 6 p.m. service. And now for a final word from our senior pastor, the Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins.
Email me at darrell@sunshinecathedral.net if you have a religious question or if you'd like to subscribe to our daily devotional magazine, Spirit and Truth. We'll send it anywhere in the United States for an annual donation of any size. You can also email us prayer requests, or you can make donations on our website, www.sunshinecathedral.org. You'll also want to check out our great performing arts series, religious education classes, conferences, and other exciting activities. For now, we wish you many blessings on your spiritual journey.